So we have the next presentation by Ana I. Gómez de Castro, and it's the presentation is on small radio telescopes for education, observing the radio sun at the schools. So this presentation is from GHOU Spain, if I'm not wrong, right, Ana?
Yes. Can you see the screen? Can you see it?
I can see the screen. You might want to make the presentation full screen. Great. Thank you, Ana. Over to
Okay.
you.
So thanks a lot, and it's a pleasure to be back in these GHOU meetings because we have skipped some few of them, and this remote e-system is allowing us to participate. So this presentation is just to make you aware that during, in fact, the pandemic, we have set up a radio telescope to be used by the worldwide community. So this presentation is just a short description of the radio telescope, of the thing that we are doing already with the schools in Spain, and on the facilities, how you can get into and how can you operate it. So behind, though I am making the presentation, there is a team behind, and well, I properly credit them in this geograph. So usually radio astronomy is not well, it's not something that it is very much appealing for students because you don't see it. Okay, it seems that eyes are very important for the first meeting the skies, but it has other appeals like providing a link or intellectual link with the radio environment that surrounds us, like radio links, radio connections, communications with satellites, and see that the sky has natural sources that also radiate in radio frequencies. So some interesting radio continuum sources that you can play around with children are from the supernova remnant to well, just observe the galaxy and detect the H1 clouds in the galaxy and see that we are surrounded by hydrogen all over around. And well, this is the small radio telescope. It comes from a previous HOU project that was funded by the European Union. And there are 5 of those. I don't know about the rest of them, whether they are being used or not. In principle, we were thinking on connecting all of them together to play together and open the possibility to all the European and the HOU community in general. But well, in practice, any one of us is managing each one. No? So it took us a lot of time to set up our small radio telescope because the original was really not very good. So we have to make many modifications and adaptations. And also we have to change the software to another software that was easier to manage for the operation, for the remote operation of the telescope. So the telescope is on the right, is its current setting. Is in the site of the Astronomy Foundation, which is a foundation devoted to outreach and well, outreach in astronomy in general. And well, it's a small, it's a 2-meter kind disk, and it operates in the L band. So you can observe also the 21-centimeter hydrogen line and get plenty of information on the clouds around in the galaxy. And it is operated only by HOU Spain and Astronomy, which is this foundation. So during the COVID closure, the quarantine, we were working to develop a new remote proposal handling system, and it was entered into operations. So now anybody from anywhere in the planet can use it. Okay, you have to get into this remote proposal system to make a proposal, and after that, the proposal is queued and you get the data. So the interface we have developed allows to run a tutorial that shows you how to use the system. allows you to submit proposals for observing time. It's easy to manage because you only need to give the targets and the system directly puts in the coordinate. Allows you to monitor in real time the status of the observations, and you can download the results in very simple files that you can work with SalsaJ or with any other very, very simple software. The new system also runs a simple post-processing of the targets and generates some quick look products. And till now, it has been used by high school students, equivalent to grade 11, I think grade 12, and I mean 16 to 18 years old, and also has been used in the university for students practicum. And this is the URL. That's what you have to get into to use it, and you have to apply to be a new user. There are several possibilities. You can be a normal user, you can be an amateur, or you can be someone who is evaluating the proposals. And well, you can get into the tutorial that takes you through all the steps to send an application, and it can be used as many times as you wish. There are 4 major steps in the tutorial. The first step is just that you have to give a title and a description of what you want to do. So, well, I want to observe the sun because I have heard that there is a big eruption, for instance. So you have just to put a title, I want to observe the sun, and a description. There is a very big, the sun, it has been very active this last week, and I would like to get the radio signal from the sun, okay? We ask in case of the observation of the sun is not necessary, but for other observations, obviously you have to check first the archive with that contains all the previous observations to make sure that we don't duplicate. And you also need to tell us what kind of information do you want to retrieve, whether a spectrum or an image. Then you have to type in the object. If the object is a standard astronomical object, you have to put the name, and the coordinates are set by the engine. So no fussing around looking for precise coordinate. And for solar system objects, we have a direct link with the JPL, so it gets just the ephemeris, and there is no problem with that. So it's pretty easy and straightforward. And then you decide which kind of observing mode you would like to use. One is what we call mode 1, which is useful for nearby bright objects and provides a better resolution, and measures the signal, but within a bandwidth of 500 megahertz around the frequency provided by the user, provided that you work within the radio telescope spectral range or radio coverage. And then there is mode 4, or mode 4, which is for far weak sources, and the signal is measured in 3 bands simultaneously. And well, there is a main observing frequency, which is the 21 centimeter line at 140 megahertz. That was the one that originally was thought the project was thought for. So then you can do 2 types of observation: continue, normal, so the source is tracked in the sky and you get a spectrum, or you can do a map, where you get a map of 25 points around the coordinates that are given. And well, this is a typical observing sequence, how it works into the system. First, the SRT, the small radio telescope, is activated. It is calibrated, pointing towards the zenith, and then goes to point to the source. And this typically takes like 15 minutes. Then the configuration of the receivers is set, and then finally you have the exposure. So it is everything pretty straightforward. And these are just a shot of some interfaces, so you can see how they look like. And basically there are 3 phases in the project. The first is to edit, revise, and send your project. Then there is a second phase, when you receive an email and with your proposal being granted time or not. And if it is not, you will receive a justification of why not. And then there is a third phase, that is when you gather your data. And well, the final data that you will receive will be either these maps. This is a map of the sun. As you see, the telescope does not produce, it has some limitations in terms of geometry, okay? And if not, you can get, you will get two ASCII files, one with the spectrum, intensity and frequency, or and also the time evolution of the signal in the whole band. And this, you can use it for whatever you want. In principle, the project is thought to be open to all the educational community, but also can be used by professional astronomers if they found that using a 2-meter antenna is useful for them. Okay. Our experience shows that the best objects to observe are these 4. So these are in here just for you to know. And well, we have I am going just to tell you the last experiment we have run with a student in the school in Madrid. And well, the motivation was that the sun ended its minimum of solar activity at the end of 2020. Basically, well, in quarantine period. So as the activity goes up again, sunspots and coronal holes will appear more frequently, and the high school student wanted to check for this activity, for this rising activity. So what we did is just to record the system. And well, the student learned to remotely operate a radio telescope, learn to schedule and perform the around observations, and to interpret the results by correlating the data from our small radio telescope with additional NASA and ESA services from the space sciences. And this is basically what she did. As I said, she was what we call the first year of bachillerato, which is 16, 17 years old. And it was in a school close to Madrid. And well, she did this fantastic job and produced these pictures with the observations and the level and the strength of what she was. And also in the mid-observation, she took this fantastic radio picture of the sun. So I just conclude here my presentation. This small radio telescope is now open to the community. And you are most welcome to use it. Just get in contact to us, register, and you will get the time and the possibility to do your learning and research with it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Anna, for the beautiful presentation. And it's really interesting to see how students are using the radio telescope. This reminds me of almost 10 years before I was working in a tribal village. And a girl asked me, I was explaining her that how radio telescopes work. And she was like, can I really use a radio telescope? And now I have an answer so that I can connect her with you. Wonderful, Anna. If there are any questions, I can see some comments by Rosa Duran, and you can just flip through it. If there are any questions from the group or the panel, you might feel free to ask Anna. We do have like a few minutes with us. Does the panel have any questions? And does the audience have? Yes, Rosa?
Yeah, I'd like to say hi to Anna. It's nice to see you here. Very nice indeed.
Nice to see you, Rosa, too.
Yeah, no, just to share with you that we have, well, our antenna, as you know, has been a nightmare for quite some time, but it's in the hand of a good collaborator of us that actually is spending the year working with us. So we might have the antenna finally operational this year. And I will sure make sure that he's in touch with you. So maybe I can send him over to spend a few days with you and learn what's necessary to have our antenna in good health.
Of course.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate. It will be a pleasure.
Exactly. Maybe I have to take him because he will never find the way alone. So it's a great pleasure to see you here.
See you.
Thank you for sharing this work.
And Anna, I have a question by Vindra. She's asking, is there any cost of using the telescope or accessing the tutorial, etc.?
No, it's free. It's free
Oh.
for the GHOU community.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. So there are some wonderful comments. I can just read through them. Sarah says, this is a great. I'll definitely get in contact. Here in Ghana, we have a radio observatory. So it would be great for students to get practical experience of using radio telescopes. There are comments by Abhay. Alex says, hi, Anna, thank you for your presentation. So I think there are some nice comments from the group to you. So you can browse through them and you can read them.
Okay. So, you know, I mean, just contact us if you need it. You have our reference in the presentation. And if not, you can access us to Hanson Universe Spain. If you write down this, you will reach us. Okay?
Anna, can you share your email ID and the website in the chat box if possible? It becomes easier for the members to also access it, or you can shift to the slide of yours.
Okay,
yeah,
so my email is aiucm.s. Please, well, I am going to write it in a way that nobody can. I hope that this is understood. Yeah. And that is. And also, and this is the one, so US at S, it doesn't want the U and S, and that's it. Okay, so any of them should work.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Anna, for the beautiful presentation and the wonderful opportunity you are providing to all the students as well as the world to get access to your radio telescope. And I would surely get in touch with you, with our students. Thank you, Anna.